This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Fuck you!
Not in a million years.
Fuck you!
The Devil May Cry series is beloved, to say the least. Fast-paced, stylish, silky smooth pretty boys with white hair doing battle against hordes of demons. The games provided a challenging yet rewarding experience, except for maybe the second game, because that one is still kind of weird. But after Devil May Cry 4, fans were left wondering, what's gonna happen next? And in 2010, we would all finally find out and be a little confused, as instead of your standard sequel, we got a reboot. Today on Gaming Mysteries, we'll be talking about DmC Devil May Cry. Now, DmC Devil May Cry came about during what I'm going to call the dark era of Capcom, around the mystical age of 2010, where they were, for lack of a better word, floundering, trying to appeal to a Western audience by putting out games not developed in-house that were of questionable quality sometimes, while also canceling a Mega Man game every couple of months just for funsies, you know, as you do. Capcom was going through a bit of an angst phase, and with that in mind, Capcom approached Ninja Theory to develop the next Devil May Cry, being impressed by their previous work. However, they didn't want them to simply make a new Devil May Cry game like a normal developer. They wanted them to reboot the series completely, to go nuts. And initially, Ninja Theory was actually going to keep things kind of similar to the original style, but Capcom mandated that they go ham. And so they did, to mixed results. The first trailer for DmC Devil May Cry popped up at TGS 2010, opening up with Dante locked in some kind of mental facility, before we switched to what would be his modern day in the far-off year of 2010, at which point we are introduced to Dante, who is smoking, but being a polite person, puts out his cigarette on a demon before attacking a whole group of demons. It's early footage, and it looks like it, but it gives you some glimpses as to what the game would be like. It's not, I don't think it's as terrible as some people make it out to look. You have Dante using that air jump thing, doing air combos with a weapon that's changing into other weapons, and there's even a spot where it shows Dante using his sword as a whip, taking a car and then throwing it at enemies, which I thought looked pretty cool, and would like to think that that's an unused gameplay element with the environment that they just couldn't do, because they couldn't even do 60 FPS. But really, this trailer is a decent representation of what we actually got in the final product, for the most part, except for Dante, who some have said looks like he's on meth, which I won't rule it out because he is really bony, but, you know, maybe he's just confused. He thought it was Devil Meth Cry and got hired by accident. Accidents happen, but needless to say, his design would be tweaked because he's a tweaker. Dante would gain muscle mass and start to adapt an attitude more akin to quote-unquote normal Dante. Although apparently one change Ninja Theory would not budge on would be changing his hair, because apparently that was too important. Change everything else, by God. I don't care if you change everything else about this character, but if you so much as touch a single hair on his head, oh, you will feel my wrath! The whole aspect of Dante being from a mental facility thing was also just kind of scrapped, with parts of it seemingly being shoved into the side character Cat, which could just be me kind of reading too much into what little there is of her character. Either way, though, we were left with a more basic story, which is a shame, frankly. I mean, look, Dante in the final version of the game is milk toast. He's boring. He sucks. He's badly written, just like everybody else in this game. Say what you will about the original TGS trailer. That Dante looked like he had some personality. He would have probably also been badly written. You can't. That's unavoidable. But he looked like he had personality, and he was different from the normal Dante. And if you're gonna fucking reboot this, then that's exactly what you want to do. He was some crazy person who fought people who he thought were demons, and it's weird, but sure, I'll take that over pretend Dante, cosplay Dante over here. Whatever you want to call him, meth head. Fake meth head. Now, we wouldn't see the game again, at least to my knowledge, until the following year's E3. At which point we got kind of a gameplay trailer, but not really. Not like in-game, but it was gameplay. It was closer than the first trailer anyways. It showed the new finalized Dante doing battle with demons in an area located early game. Nothing of note or of interest that I can see. It's just DmC. Though seemingly this gameplay would do little to sway the people who just didn't like the direction that they were taking the series. It didn't really help that the chief creative director for Ninja Theory was seemingly, and I could be using the wrong word here, but a prick, claiming that he didn't care what people thought about his version of Dante or the backlash, and going on to insult Dante's original costume, saying, quote, "If Dante dressed as he walked into any bar outside of Tokyo, he'd get laughed out." Now, luckily, most video game characters don't tend to walk outside bars in Tokyo, I think. So this seems like kind of a weird point to bring up. And also, like, what would happen with your version of Dante? They just kick him out of Japan completely? Like, not to mention, he both dismissed and completely left out both Lady and Trish, two very important characters, and couldn't get the game running at the series standard of 60 FPS, but I guess all your ideas look so fucking great up there on that high horse, don't they? Bullshit aside, the game would finally release in 2013 to mostly positive reviews. As it turns out, thanks to Capcom's help, the gameplay of DmC was rather fun. I'd be completely lying to you if I told you I didn't have a good time playing the game. But aside from the gameplay, everything else is just bland and shit. The story is predictable and stupid. They ruined Virgil, they ruined Dante, did some interesting visual stuff, had some okay music, but mostly they just made an alright game. Fun to play, not fun to pay attention to the story. And honestly, I thought this is where it was all going to end for Devil May Cry. I didn't, because it seemed weird. Like, you know, how do you go to Devil May Cry 5 after this? It's weird. I hoped for it, but I didn't think it would happen. But then, something magical happened. After DmC's release, the current series director claimed he was unhappy with how things were going and was planning to quit. Capcom, liking money, quickly jumped into action, and they wanted to keep him on board. And to do that, they had to let him make a Devil May Cry game the way he wanted to do it. Although surprisingly, he wanted to work on a sequel to DmC at first, although we would luckily get something far better, in my opinion. And I do not work at Capcom, so that opinion holds no water. And that is the absolute love letter to the fans that is Devil May Cry 5, which I think the game really speaks for itself. It looks great, it plays great, I fucking love it. If you don't own it, I really recommend you checking it out sometime. If you have to wait for it to go on sale, go right ahead. Just give it a chance sometime. You'll have a fun time if you like action games. It is good stuff, and everyone lived happily ever after. Except for the people who wanted a sequel to DmC, I guess. And then they got purchased by Microsoft, so that's complicated now. Probably not going to happen, but Oh well. This is Gaming Mysteries. Thank you for watching. Well, hello everyone. It's fancy seeing you here. Welcome back to Endslate. Endslate is, it's Endslate again. Basically, if you want the long... See, here's the thing. I love doing the long, drawn-out Endslate, but the algorithm fucking hates it. But if you want that long, drawn-out reading, you can still get it on the Patreon exclusive versions of the videos. I'm gonna draw that shit out just because I can. So yeah, I'm gonna be thanking people both in secret, aloud, and out here with some text. But hey, I didn't enjoy anything. I hope you enjoyed the new Gaming Mysteries on DmC, Devil May Cry. Maybe you'd like to check out the last video I did, which I believe was a bullshit creepypasta story time on some Final Fantasy thing. An end card should show up pretty soon. And if you like the video, maybe you want to subscribe or like or YouTube things. It seemed more like common sense. And anyways, I'm gonna bow out. We're at about a minute. This is weird, huh? Yeah. Thank you to all my patrons. Love you all. Thank you very much for the support. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah. See y'all next time on Endslate. Also, there's an air conditioner on in the background. Sorry about that. Bye-bye.